and you'd be like, oh my God, you live a cool lifestyle. Because these guys still have money, right? Like they might not be the best looking, but they have certain resources. They have a career. I have pilots, I have doctors, clients who are very successful, but they're not attractive. Remember, dude, back in the day, like I know, like back in the day, pilots and doctors would get girls just like that because you have a high status job. Now you're fine for the guy who gets all the girls, right? If a private pilot, a doctor, you're not getting all the girls, right? Because you're spending what 20 years studying so hard, you lose your health, you're not in shape, and you're in debt, kind of stuff. So I'm trying to teach these guys how to move with the trend, and I think young guys like you who come in knowing the trends, right? I got to keep up with you. Actually, I got to be like, what are younger girls thinking, right? So how do you coach these guys who don't look like you, who think, yeah, Logan, it's easy for you to say you're a looking guy, you're an athlete, you do this. How are you going to coach a guy who says, I'm not you? How do I consider myself attractive?
Yeah, so the first thing is you have to break down that mentality of it that looks are the only thing that's dependent on the girl's attraction. Looks help you get your foot in the door, 100%. They help you get your foot in the door, and they make it easier getting your foot in the door. But if you say the wrong things, if you do the wrong things, if you act the wrong way, all that traction, all that interest tanks. Um, and that's one thing about guys who are good looking is they're so used to girls approaching them that they don't know how to actually approach girls. And when girls approach them, they act all nervous. They're weird. They're awkward. They don't know how to talk to girls. And the girl's like, "Oh, this guy's weird, man." So if you were an ugly guy, you have to understand that the first things first is looks actually do not matter. It's part of it getting your foot in the door. They definitely do get your foot in the door. And that's why I say on social media, yes, looks are going to matter for the most part, but you can still change your looks. You can still get a body. It's not impossible. You
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of things you could do to change your looks overall, the quality of your photos, whatever. But let's say, yeah, you're the most ugliest dude in the world. Okay, cool. You're not going to be able to strive on social media, okay? But here's where you can strive in person, right? Because so many of these guys on social media, right, they're missing out on in person. You're going to be able to cut through all the bullshit of the texting and the calling. You're in person, bro. You skip all of that shit. So if you get really good as an ugly dude in person, you're actually going to be way better off than the guys on social media. You're going to actually be able to do as well as guys on social media. Um, and so you just have to tell the guys as basic understanding is that listen, looks get your foot in the door. I know guys who are way taller than me, way better looking than me, but they pull way less bitches than me. And I know guys who are uglier than me and shorter than me, and they pull way more bitches than me, right? So there, it is definitely possible, and I have seen it. Like it doesn't matter your height, it doesn't matter on looks. These things help you get your foot in the door, but it's not the end all be all thing. And game is something that definitely trumps all of that shit. And that's the one thing I've seen firsthand is that if you are really good with talking to girls and you're super confident and you're dominant and you're masculine, dude, the girl is not gonna give a fuck about your looks because they are in desperate need. Today, girls are in such desperate need of masculine energy that if you can just provide that just by being a masculine dude, the girls are going to be all over you. It used to be back in the day, all guys were masculine. Most guys were masculine, but now we're in like a simp society. 90% of dudes are weak dudes. Like they're weak beta male simps. So if you could provide that masculine energy and she can sense it and feel it, which she will right away by how you present yourself, she's going to know this guy's different than most guys. She's not even going to be paying attention to how you look. She's going to be paying attention to how she feels because girls are emotional creatures, right? So attraction might spark that feeling of interest and attraction, but it's not going to be the end all be all of what makes her feel good, right? So what makes her feel good is going to overpower everything, right? It's going to overpower hypergamy or another guy who has more money or status, right? Her feelings towards you are the only thing that can trump those things, and that's what genuine desire is. So if she has genuine desire over you, that will actually trump hypergamy. Other guys who have more money, more status, more looks, more height, whatever, if her genuine desire towards you and her emotional feelings towards you are more stronger than any of those other things, that's all that matters. And she's going to choose those things because she's an emotional creature. If she has a very emotional, compelling reason to be with you over that job, she's going to quit that job. Or if she has more emotions towards you than the guy best friend, she's going to leave the guy best friend for you, right? But if she doesn't, and this is an easy test guys can test on their girlfriends, is If they have a guy best friend in the background, just be like, hey, I don't want you hanging out with the guy best friend because he wants to hook up with you. I'm not cool with that. So it's either him or me. And if the girl is really into you, she's gonna be like, okay, you, right? But if she's not that into you, bro, she's gonna choose the guy best friend because she has a more emotional attachment to that guy for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality.
Well, yeah, because women are not loyal as men. Like men, I'm never gonna ditch my guy best friend for a girl. It's not. It's just not gonna happen, right? It's like it's kind of like the military and me too. But I do think that's the part that we got to figure out as coaches is like, you know how you just said you go up to a girl and have the balls to say, hey, either him, your guy best friend, or me. And if she says it's going to be him, you will be like, even if you're in love, you're like, okay, fine, move on. So you'll move on. But I think the interesting about most of the men that I coach, and in me, remember, because I used to be a simp, I used to be beta too, right? And I realized I used to say those things to get the girl because I'm like, I'm gonna act dominant, I'm gonna act. So most of my students, so back in the day when we didn't have Tinder, anything online, I had to cold approach. So I remember when I finally got good at game was 1 year I literally gained every single day, got off the military duty at 5 p.m., took a 1 hour bus ride to the main city. Me and my wingman gained from 6 to midnight every single day, 365 days. And I have other
Damn.
coaches. Yeah, that was back in the day because we didn't have options. We had to cold approach. Like that's the only way we would have leads, right? That's the only way. Cold, 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 cold. You couldn't have Instagram. There's no social media. Facebook was weird. My other coach did it at Bungalow. I don't know if you've been to Santa Monica Bungalow or the OC Bungalow. It's
Yep. Yep.
savage
Yep.
over there. It's a
Yeah.
savage place. Like they just like because they have so many good looking guys. It's LA. It's OC. Savage place to game. And then so that's how we had to get good. But the issue was we had to get through that because I think the best way to learn game is actually inner game. Have that mentality that you have, or even something like what happened or Andrew Tate's method. Build that up. Whatever it takes, therapy, whatever. But it takes too fucking long. It takes way too long. We have mommy issues. We have all these issues. So the best way I tell my students is gotta go act, right? But the issue I think what a lot of men that I see is that they fake it. They're like, oh shoot, hold on, someone's calling me. One sec, bro. I'm just gonna tell them to put it in the lobby. Sorry about the abrupt call.
All good.
So I think the issue that I see, what I was gonna get back to, is that men say that line that you told them. Like I would tell the girl to say this because they want the girl to give the validation. So they're saying it to like act confident instead of being confident, right? And I remember I watched the Matrix movie recently, and Morpheus said there's a difference between knowing you're the one and being the one. So I said in one of my Instagram reels, I said there's something about knowing how to be attractive and being attractive. And I think nowadays, I mean, it's kind of hard to teach inner game, dude. Like I don't know if you tried teaching inner game, but inner game is like for me, I was lazy. The only way I didn't become lazy was waking up at 4 in the morning, being an alarm clock for my upperclassmen in the military, making my bed, having them tear my bed apart all the time, right? So, or like just going through 1 year of BS, right? So I do think like there's certain things men need to do. I think doing changes you more than just acting or studying in the room, right? They're just going on YouTube. Like, hey, by the way, watch Logan's stuff, watch my stuff, but I think the biggest thing is after you watch our stuff, you got to go do it, right? And
Yeah.
that's the thing I see right now. People are
Yeah.
struggling with
I
that,
always
man.
I always say like if you listen to all my podcasts but you take no action, you're just as bad as the guy who doesn't listen to my podcast but and takes action. Um
Yeah,
so all that matter, yeah, you're just as bad as the guy who doesn't listen to the podcast and doesn't take action. So you just wasted time actually. So you're even farther worse. And I tell guys, listen to one podcast and take action on it. Not only because I want you to see what I'm talking about isn't bullshit, but I want you to see results and I want you to see the power of taking action. If you just listen to all my podcasts, you just binge all of my podcasts, but you don't take any action on any of those things, and you just believe what I say for no fucking reason, then you're retarded. You shouldn't believe what I say and just because whatever, oh, I'm wearing a suit, oh, I have money, you should listen to me. No, dude. I want you to realize that what I'm saying actually fucking works. So when I say listen to a podcast and apply it, I literally mean go listen to a podcast and apply it to see if I'm wrong. I want you to prove that I'm wrong. So go out there and apply it. Because either way, he's gonna go out there and apply it, and he's gonna see results. He's gonna actually be much better off, even if he thinks, "Oh, Logan's saying a bunch of bullshit," whatever. Cool, you're gonna see the
Yeah,
results. Either way, you
yeah.
win. Let's say you hate me, cool. If you just apply what I say, even if you hate me, you're still gonna get the girls. That's all I want. I just want guys to get fucking bitches. That's all. That's all I'm here for,
Yeah,
man.
no, I think we need men like that, bro. Like for me, and I think one thing I also followed you on Instagram was because you're an Asian guy who's promoting this message. I think as Asian men, we don't have role models like dude, like every I remember Halloween, I saw an Asian kid wearing a Thor costume, wearing Captain America costume. No one's wearing Shang-Chi. No one even knows who Shang-Chi is anymore. I asked like, hey, do you know who Shang-Chi is? No, who's Shang-Chi? Like in Asia, no one knows who Shang-Chi is. How does that make any sense, bro? Like I literally walk around Thailand, Korea, like, oh, do you remember the Shang-Chi Marvel superhero? Who's the Marvel superhero? The Asian one. But he's the only one who didn't have a romantic interest
Hmm.
in a Marvel superhero. Did you know that?
Hmm.
Even
Interesting.
Captain Marvel had a lesbian one. Like
Damn.
Captain Marvel had a lesbian one. Yeah, if you actually watch, well, you don't have to watch all the Marvel movies, but if you watch the Shang-Chi one, the main character, right, did not have a love interest at all. Captain America had one, Thor had one, Iron Man had one, Hulk had one. Like it's nuts how like the perception is. So we need more men like you, and just me or anybody out there. I actually said like, yo, we need a Asian Andrew Tate. Um, and because I do think it's just like it is harder for us out there. Like once you, I do think keep in touch, bro. I want to have this conversation again, like maybe every single year. As you get older, you'll see what I'm talking about more because now you're gonna go into the workforce, but you're kind of in a different place. Like you don't even have to go middle, you don't have to go workforce, right? So even in the military, I faced bullying as an Asian guy. I remember like somehow the law of attraction calls a 6'4" white dude, same rank as me. He gets all the attention, uses his prowess, physical presence. So for me, I'm a big believer that looks do matter. So obviously we don't have to agree on everything, but I do think having physical presence, I do think an Asian guy should have some kind of muscles or have a body that shows you that you could be, like you have physical presence, right? I do believe in working out because I used to be fat, and for me that changed my life, right? The first confidence I needed was having some kind of, you don't have to have like full six pack abs, but I do think having physical presence helped me out a lot. But I think for you, you're right. If someone has more game, but for me, it was a combination of both, and that's why I think there's always four pillars. Actually, my whole theory is an Asian man. I'm speaking just for Asian men because I'm Asian. I think we need four pillars of everything. I think we need game. I think we need physical looks. So not like getting surgery or anything. I think your physical prowess, your physical peak. So like, okay, if I'm Logan, what's my physical peak? Like, what's the maximum? Like squeezing all the juice out of my lemons, right? How much potential do you have in terms of physical, right? Even lastly, right? The third one is no, there's two more. Fame. The next one's fame and money. So I think a man needs to supplement. So let's say your game is a 10 out of 10. I think as an Asian man, if you have pure game, and of course you could get certain level girls, right? Five, sixes, and sevens. But I think to get eight, nine, or 10, you're not going to get the Instagram. So I remember one of my friends, he had a decent game, but I wouldn't say he had 10 game. But he went for the, what's that Instagram girl? Madison Ivy? No, that's a porn star. Some, it was some Instagram influencer. She was really big in LA like 2 years ago. She's still big now. Like think about Addison Ray. Even if an Asian guy has 10 game, you go to Addison Ray. Maybe based on her circumstances, maybe. But if you go to Addison Ray with 10 game and maybe at least eight out of looks, and you have like eight out of money, and you have some kind of status, and you have like at least a certain kind of status on Instagram, you have a better chance than going just approaching Addison Ray with just 10 game. So I always tell my students, you need to like, because real talk, it's really hard to actually get 10 level game. Even me, I don't say I have 10 level game. I supplement myself with my looks and my status, right? That's what I do. I only know one coach who has 10 level game. And his lifestyle is very like not the lifestyle I would live because he doesn't have that much money because all he does is fuck. Like all he does is game every single day. Like and he just like fucks anything. Like he sometimes this is why I know like guys who have your mentality or his mentality, he doesn't care as long as they're like, it's somewhat attractive. He just
Yeah.
closes anything. So he doesn't get the 10, he gets the 5. He just goes for anything. And I'm just like, holy crap. And at first I was like, is that game? Is that game? And I realized it is game because all the students who come to me was like, I just want hot girls. They never get the hot girls. Why? Because as soon as they say, I only want hot girls, now hot girls on a pedestal.
Yep.
They're up there now.
Boom.
So,
Boom.
and, and you're emotional. and you're emotional. You're trying to game her, but you're like, are you sure this will work? Are you sure this will work? Like you're telling me to do this, and I'm just like that. You lost. You right. As soon
They
as you
think,
think
yeah, yep, they think they're
you
different.
lost,
They think
yes.
yep, they think that looks make the girls different. It's like, nope, dude. It applies to all girls, bro.
And it's a weird paradox because you want a game to get high quality girls, right? Right. To be honest, like you want the high quality girls, but you got a game. So I remember one guy. I never met him personally, but there's a rumor that he was the best guy. And he said this quote. He said, "When you can game a 5 the same way you can game a 10, then you have perfect game."
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
but like legit emotion. Like it's like Michael Jordan, right? They said why he was the best, and I was rewatching The Last Dance. He could play the Game 7 of the NBA Finals the same way he could play the first game of the season, right?
Mm.
You would think the Game 7 of the NBA Finals is worth so much more. Game 7, you gotta step up. You got prepared. No, he said Michael Jordan. He would be zen in that game. He would like it's another game, and in the first game where it doesn't matter, it's 82 games a season. He wouldn't care. And I'm just like, because for me, I'm trying to reach even me, like I realized for 10 game, it's impossible because I have to go. It's not that impossible, but the amount of effort I would put in, I'm focusing more on my career and my status and my physical looks is actually I kind of reached it, but it's more like my status and my finances, right? Because I want to supplement my game now. Like it's like you know how when you work out, you take creatine to help you to another level, right? So
Mm.
that's something that I'm trying to teach in my kind of course, which is perfect for like later on, right? For younger guys, I do think younger guys need to focus on that mentality of you like, don't give a fuck, stop putting girls on a pedestal, stop being worried about cancel, stop worrying about pissing off. But later on, because life happens, right? Most guys are not gonna have that freedom that you and me have to do. Like, come on, dude, I gamed for a whole year, 365 days, right? So it's like a balance that I'm trying to find for everyone because not everyone can hustle or have that mentality to get 10 games, right? It takes a lot of effort, especially if you're like a loser or a simp. You know what I'm saying? Becoming a
Yeah, I
simp,
mean,
become out. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, so for for the first thing you said, which was the bullying aspect, I think yeah, there's always gonna be guys trying to bully you about certain things, but I think the one thing about doing jujitsu, doing wrestling, getting punched in the face, getting your ass beat, it starts to show you that, dude, these words like they don't mean anything. Like, and
yeah,
I'm down to throw down with anyone. I don't care if you're bigger than me. I don't care if you're smaller than me. I'll respect what you say if you're actually down to fight me. It just the reality is most of these guys just don't want to fight you. They just rather just say things, maybe because they don't want to get in trouble. They're more fearful of a higher power, and they don't want to fight you for whatever reason. So I really don't care about what anyone says, you know. And I only care about, oh, cool. Do you want to fight me or not? All right, cool, whatever. Like I don't really get emotional about that stuff. Um, just because I think wrestling and just doing jiu-jitsu just kind of really trained me, which you can't get out of weightlifting. You can't get that mindset out of weightlifting. I think that's what really helped me overcome just words and cancellation and what people say is like, okay, well, are you gonna fight me? No, you're not. So why do I care? Like, if you're not physically attacking me, it's not physically doing anything to me, right? But people
yeah,
allow like words which are not physical to actually change their physical course of action on how they do things. And that's where
mm,
you can't allow it to do things. You could allow it to motivate you, right? But if you allow it to physically affect you in a negative way, then that's not good, right? And if you allow people to live in your heads rent free, that's not good either. You want to be the vice versa. You want to be the guy that everyone's talking shit to, but it doesn't phase you. And you're just absorbing all that negative energy and you're using it towards your mission and purpose. Like that's
mm,
something that's super awesome because I feel like yes, you could use a heartbreak to as motivation to work out and you become ripped, you become strong, but it's definitely not as powerful as self love for yourself or what you want to do. And I think the same thing is with bullying. Is like first you do it because you want to beat the bully's ass, and then you get so strong you beat the bully's ass, and then what? It's like okay,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
did all.
I
It's
think,
like what? So
yeah,
it's kind of
yeah.
interesting how that works.
Yeah, I actually, so this is where I tell, obviously with my students, I always tell them at least lose some weight. But I do think from what I just heard from you, I think every man in this modern day has to find a hunt. So, back in the evolution, we had to hunt, right? Every man had to hunt. If you didn't hunt, you get killed, right? The species was up. So I think it could be
Right.
jujitsu, it could be working out, it could be sports. But I think some kind of man, at least for Asian men, I do think there has to be hunting every day. So I would say even with food, right? Earn your hunt. Whenever I want a cheat meal, I over hunt, right? I always like do extra work or something. So fighting, I 100% agree with it because actually my life was in danger in Eastern Europe. So you know how in like in the West, like no one's gonna punch you. In Eastern Europe, this guy. So the reason why like me and my friend tried to confront him was he tripped a judo. He literally did like a not like a normal move. He did like a jujitsu move on a girl. So we're like, whoa, we're trying to be white knights here, and we're like, whoa, hold up, you can't do a girl, you can't do a girl like that. Like real talk. As much as me and Logan, well, I'll speak for myself. As much as like there's some girls that are crazy and we talk shit. We still have this inner. I think most men have this inner thing to protect the girl who's getting hit by a guy. Like especially when I was in the military, like that's the first thing we learned: do not touch women, right? Like no matter how much like a woman hits me, I'll never hit a woman back.
Yeah, it's
I'll
like,
yeah, it's
yeah,
something
no.
inner. Yeah, I can't. It's my mom. I just can never hit a girl. I never will do that.
I mean, I'll slap a girl in the bedroom, but I feel like I wouldn't even slap a girl like in
Yeah,
an argument. You know, it's like,
yeah.
it's.
Yeah. There's
I'll
no
slap a
way.
girl for
There's
love.
yeah, exactly. A little spanky here and there.
Yeah.
But that dude who was hurting that girl, bro, like this guy knew legit jujitsu, and that's the first time I was like, holy shit, I need to actually because I learned how to box. I got punched in the face. You're right. A man does need to get punched in the face once, um, just to feel what it's like to be punched. Because in the academy, the Air Force Academy, we had boxing classes, and I remember my first fight was against a Golden Glove guy.
Oh
And yeah, we wore
fuck.
headgear. Yeah, we wore headgear. But dude, think about like you just being totally emasculated. I just got emasculated. I couldn't get a hit on him. He literally demolished me. And even jujitsu, I got demolished by this one guy. He was a blue belt already, and he's in college. I'm like, what the? But he was older. He was prior enlisted, so he was older, and he already had a blue belt. And I was like, what the hell? So I got my ass kicked. But so I do think every man needs to be the hunt and everything like that. So I know we're already like approaching an hour, Logan,
Mhm.
but I guess this was more me asking you questions. I guess we could switch it next time if you want. I guess my
Yeah.
last question to you kind of is like, what are three things that you say every man needs to take an action, right? Every after watching a podcast or video of you, what is three actions that an Asian kid, my age or your age or Asian person my age look at this video and can take and do right now at this moment? What are three
Yeah, so
things you can do?
yeah, so I have a lot of guys who are Asian, who listen to me because I mean, just by being Asian, you inspire other Asian people. You just inspire people that look like you. If you're short, you're gonna inspire short people. If you're whatever color, you're gonna inspire whatever color. Um, but yeah, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't really care about race too much. I don't really care about race too much. I don't care about height. I don't care about looks too much. Obviously, take care of yourself and don't be ignorant of these facts, right? I'm not ignorant of the fact that Asian guys are the least attractive, right? You should know that, okay, there's a little bit more work I have to do, which is only going to make myself better, right? And same thing with looks, right? It's like, yeah, you could say looks don't matter, but they do matter to a certain thing. Like I said, they do get your foot in the door, so keep that in mind and keep working towards your looks and like looks max. I think that's what they call it, like looks maxing, like doing everything possible to look as good as possible. But yeah, I mean, for any guys out there listening, any young dudes, dude, stop listening to what 97% of people are doing. Like, if you want to be if you want to be above average, you're going to have to do the opposite of what everyone is doing because most people are average. And it's going to be very difficult to not do what everyone's telling you to do. And chances are, if everyone's telling you to do that one thing, it's probably not good because most people are average, brainwashed sheep who are literally just a part of the fucking matrix. And if you watch the Matrix, you'll be like, "Whoa, this shit is still fucking relatable to what's happening today," which is crazy. And it's super interesting. But yeah, I think especially Asian cultures, maybe other cultures as well. It's very simplified, man. It's like a lot of these guys are just raised to be simps. Because their father was a simp, so it's just automatic. They're just gonna be that's all they know, right? And so when they see
Mm-hmm.
guys like me having multiple girlfriends, getting girls, having success with women, even though I'm canceled, they're like, whoa, 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 this goes against everything they've been told. And so, hopefully I can inspire more guys to be like me or get the results like me. So that's why I try to teach guys everything that I've applied to my life. And I'm super transparent about where I get my knowledge, super transparent about how I do the things that I do, what kind of things I do. And that's the one main reason why I blew up in the first place is just because I showed results of me getting girls. I didn't even try to do that just because I wanted to show results. It was just I did it because I thought it was funny, and then guys started asking me questions. That's how I started getting into this. Um, But yeah, it's I think just listen to the podcasts if you haven't. I think they're definitely going to inspire a lot of guys,
Mhm.
and just apply whatever you learn, man. And don't take my word for it either. Like I said, apply the things that we are talking about. Like if you don't believe us, try it. We want you to.
Yeah, go prove us wrong
Yeah, yeah.
and
Try to
comment
prove us
below.
wrong. Yeah, yeah. Try to prove us wrong. Like, cause the haters, they won't try to prove you wrong. They'll just talk shit. Oh, you're short. Oh, you're 19 years old. What do you know you're talking about? It's like, dude, just try it. You don't know, right? So
Yeah,
keep an open mind. Be open minded. I think that's one thing I had to learn as well. Just be super open minded to every possibility, um, and it's gonna help you grow for sure.
yeah. No, the best hater is if someone literally hates on our video and says, "Well, I did what you said didn't work," and he gives us proof with like a video. It's like didn't work. I'm like, oh shit. Like, how am I gonna talk back to him? I'm like, yeah, all right, man, mad respect. Like, I'll have the respect, but here's the thing: go try it. Actually, so Logan, your podcast, your Instagram, where can people find you to kind of actually do what you say and like learn from you?
Yeah, so on Instagram you can find me at the Logan Duong. My YouTube channel is Logan Duong. You can find my podcast from Logan Duong or Alpha's Only Club. I have a community called Alpha's Only Club. That's where I talk to dudes every single week. It's me and a bunch of other coaches. We have fitness coaches, we have health coaches, dating coaches. You know, we talk about a bunch of shit that obviously would get banned off of YouTube right away. So it's kind of just like your group of fucking boys on the internet, man. Fucking, we talk about whatever. Um, and yeah, we try to help each other out. We offer a really good network and connections with dudes who are millionaires, dudes who pimp out chicks on OnlyFans, dudes who fucking do loads of different businesses, sales, marketing, social media. I teach a lot of social media as well, besides the dating, just because that's something I'm good at. I like teaching social media because I just like getting guys results in these things. But yeah, man, that's where you guys can find me. We'll do another podcast soon. This will be for your channel, obviously, but we'll do a podcast for my channel, and I'll have questions ready for you next time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This was kind of like impromptu. I just wanted to, man. Like the thing is, like you, I feel like you're reincarnated as like a 35-year-old alpha male into a 19-year-old body. You know what I'm saying, because like I didn't know. Like when you told me your age and I saw your content, I was like, "There's no way this kid." And then the fact that you're doing this before Andrew Tate made me respect you more because Andrew Tate's the one who went viral, right? But I saw an Asian guy, not a kid. And I don't even see you as a kid. Like you're an Asian guy, Asian man doing this before that, and I was just like. I gotta get this man out here, and just even vibe with him because, dude, you're gonna like I told you. I think it was 2 days ago. I said you're gonna you started this 19. There's something called the 10,000 hour rule, right? You heard about it, right? Outliers, whatever. Dude, you started at 19. I started at 21, but I kind of like took a hiatus. And now the resources you have, and even like right now, I'm even inspired to be like, yo, I need to get a mic. I need to get a Canon. Like I'm just like, dude, that's what like people who do things at a higher level, right? Because right now your podcasting is at a higher level. I could tell your mic's on point, your videos on point, you have all these apps. This is what I'm talking about, guys. As Asian men, and I don't bring up the race because I do think in a way Asian men should support each other because we kind of hate on each other. We're always competitive. Like I'm gonna get better.
I think your mic just cut out.
Are we good now?
Yeah, it's good
Hold on
now.
one
Okay.
sec. Dang it. My mic.
But yeah, man, I fucking while you're fixing that, yeah, I've seen a lot of the Asian guys who hate on me.
Can you hear
You
me?
know, they're from my school. Yeah, yeah, I hear you.
Dang it, why can't I hear you though? But anyways, I can't hear Logan again. But anyways, we're just gonna end it with this. It's been a pleasure, guys. Once again, go find Logan. You heard stuff. It's been a pleasure. Thanks again, brother. Appreciate it.
Deal. See you, bro.
I can't hear you, Logan. What the hell?
Okay, hold on.
Here,
Let me
let's do the